Hey guys, here we go. Hey guys, this is Tatum Talk Show, man. We're good is the enemy of great, man. I got a special guest. This is John Barlow, who's actually running for mayor of Detroit, man. Like it's a true blessing, man. John Barlow running for mayor. Hey guys, talk to me a little bit, John, about how'd you end up in this position?
Well, first of all, being a native Detroiter, born and raised, I went to Renaissance High School.
Okay.
Renaissance High School right now, they're excelling in basketball. I don't know how much or what they're doing in football right now, but what I can say is having coached basketball, having played football, I understand how great sports can be in terms of an impact, in terms of instilling values, the whole atmosphere of what sports brings into community and things of that nature. I've always been a lifelong admirer of those who continue to compete, but then continue to give back, and that's part of the whole ecosystem that I believe is being displayed here in this showcase.
So now what college did you go to?
Well, I actually went right here to Wayne State University after going to Ball State for a year. And here at Wayne State, it's home for diversity. It's home for bringing people together. But then it's also home for just hope and inspiration. I think that's what the young men are receiving today, is a little hope, a little inspiration, a little visibility, so that they can just keep on pushing forward. And we got some great supporters of the Sound Mind, Sound Body program here. And then we got great people like you just coming to amplify the message that's taking place. So I'm just ecstatic and humbled to even be in you all's presence.
So he's so silly, man. So let me ask you a question then, man. What made you want to run for mayor? Like, I mean, that's a big job to have, especially in Detroit, a city that's like well known, man. Like, what made you want to be the mayor?
Well, I think it's being a voice and being a light for an opportunity. And one of those things that comes with opportunity is having exposure. And having exposure at this level in life is just an eye-opening and a life-changing experience. And I think that just these young men being able to see people like yourselves, people like the other parents and the other college vendor tables that are out here, it gives them an opportunity to start to dream, start to really plan and write down that vision for where they want to go in life. And so for me, it's about the inspiration and the hope that was put into me by different coaches and others growing up that's put me on this path to want to lead a city and put more hope into others. And so these young men, I want to make sure that they get other opportunities, such as going into media or understand the other business aspects around sports and entertainment, in which they're engulfed in as an athlete now, but can be very well put on a path to become the next great physical therapist or doctor or surgeon or scientist or manufacturer of equipment or anything. So expanding their exposure, expanding their horizons really is what I strive to do as a mayor, as a leader, but then giving them the atmosphere, the public safety, the quality of life that they deserve, and their parents to be able to really get to that level.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. So let's say I never voted before in my life.
Yeah.
And let's say I just seen this interview, man. Like, what would make me support you? What would make me say, you know what, man, I ain't never voted a day in my life, man, and I ain't gonna vote, but this man right here, I can get behind him and I can support him. What would make me support you?
They tell me the only way to hit someone or to speak to someone and meet them where they are is to really speak to their pockets. I don't see any color in this world.
Okay.
I don't see any color in this world that really touches someone quickly unless it's green.
Okay.
And so what I would say is this: if you've never voted before, then understand that your voice does matter, and I'm a prime example of it. I've been able to change laws as a citizen because I mobilized and organized enough people behind me in order to put an initiative on the ballot, and we voted on it. we're not powerless just because we're not in office. Just because we're not in office, we're actually more powerful because we don't have their responsibility, and we can hold them accountable. And so, what I will say is this: the first way to exercise your citizenship and get engaged is to vote. Go research as much as you can about the people. Don't believe everything you hear on TV. Go do your own research and make sure that you exercise that right, because a lot of people, depending on where you come from, or just looking at America and its history, we've always struggled with giving people the opportunity to be part of the conversation. And so what I always like to say is get your seat at the table, do it by voting, but then go a step further, be part of your community, and then go into advocacy and really look at how you can engage at the highest level of government to really speak to the matters that you experience, because that's the only way to change it.
Okay, so me being from Cleveland, and Detroit and Cleveland is like brothers. All right.
Yeah.
My issue that I have with just the whole system is just how can we fix our schools? All right. I mean, it's a question. I know that's a long question, and that's a lot to go in that. But the main thing is the education. How can we fix the inner city schools? Because what I'm noticing, me being from Cleveland, I live in Atlanta, Cleveland, Detroit, Atlanta, Birmingham. All the inner city schools have all the same issues. So, what's something that you think that can help or start an initiative to actually fix our schools?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Here in Detroit, we have 5,000 homeless kids in our Detroit public school system. And the population of Detroit public schools have gone from 200,000 to almost 40,000 over the last 10 or so years. Maybe 15 years. So this is what I'll say to this. When you have people constantly falling through a drain, you got to plug the drain. And so as mayor, when elected, in my first 100 days is to get at least 500 of those families off the streets, to set the example for what village can do when it comes together as community to go after one common goal that leaves all of us selfless and gives all of us the opportunity to really help someone that isn't being helped and is being overlooked. And so that's one thing. You got to plug the drain. The second thing is when you look at the foster care system and how kids are coming to school, the mindset they're in, you got to wrap resources around them. I don't care if you have to get washers and dryers in the schools. I don't care if you have to make sure that each kid has a mentor, but we have to deal with each kid where they are and meet them clinically and understand what family they're going home to, so that we can make sure that they are prepared to come to learn and that they can leave and not have to digress from everything that was built up during that day. And so having worked in the schools, having coached basketball, having won championships, I'm a winner, so I always like to put the winning mindset in the kid and make sure they understand they're a superhero. They need to tap into their powers and make sure that they get to the goals that they strive for.
Wow. Hey man, that right there is powerful. It's powerful, man. So I want to talk about, okay, so I'm a young kid, man, and we're trying to do things in the community. What give me some things that some young kids can do right now to help their community in Detroit?
The first thing, again, is to make sure that you exercise your voice. As a kid, you have a right and you have the opportunity to still tell what is going on in your community. You have TikTok, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have all these channels in which you can showcase to the world what's transpiring. And if you want it to change, someone will very well get behind you and support you and help you change that state of which you're going home to every day. And so what I will say is always, and sorry about that.
That's all good.
What I will always say is be a voice for those in the community and be a voice for yourself first, and make sure you don't sit down when you see something wrong taking place. I don't care what it is. If you see something wrong, be that person that stands in the gap and says this is wrong. Don't let it just keep on passing by. I have kids that go to high schools that experience witnessing others commit suicide and things like that. And then they go back to the parents, they go back to the administration and say, we need help in these areas, but they're not given the help and support. We really gotta understand when a child says something to us, we got to pay attention.
Right.
We can't just overlook it and say, no, that's what I went through. No, this is happening now in this day and time. So listening is very important. Being attentive to their needs is very important. And if we expect them to be the leaders of tomorrow, we got to treat them like the leaders of today. We got to treat them like leaders today to be able to groom them into such, and not always treat them like kids. Because quite honestly, I know a lot of children and a lot of youth and a lot of athletes that can do way more than some in the boardroom and some in the office, and are way more diligent and committed to technology, which produces more. And so I can't talk about their literacy rate when they can operate 5 apps at the same time. Come on, man. We got to be realistic. Let's harness their energy.
Okay, so now I'm gonna ask you a tough question, man, because I'm from Cleveland, man. So what I saw in Cleveland, and what I'm seeing in Cleveland, is all of the youth programs is gone. Like, we used to have Boys and Girls Club. It used to be $5 a month. We used to have the Power League. We used to have the YMCA, and I'm seeing all our communities, all of the activities getting reduced. Like, what are you gonna do to help Detroit get back some of those programs that used to help our communities?
I think first of all, we gotta start telling our story. This story right here should be told everywhere. This story isn't being told enough, and I'm going to make sure that regardless if I win the election or not, that I continue to support organizations like Sound Mind, Sound Body, and everything that they're doing, because they're really setting the tone and setting the standard for how we have to move into the future. And so ultimately, getting the money to them is about telling the story and making sure that they don't get overlooked. And then the others that are getting overlooked, we got PAL coaches that come out of their pockets all the time. Oh man, I have communities arguing with PAL coaches about simple things, about blocking driveways and stuff. So I think it's really about, I'm serious about this. Part of our problems in some communities are making sure that the parents are equipped and ready. A lot of times parents aren't always equipped and ready, and we got to make sure that those fundamentals are always there, because when conflict arises, anything can happen, and the worst thing that happens is the kids get left out the equation.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm gonna go one more question for you, man. I'm a single parent home. Daddy in jail. I don't want to go to school. I go to school. I'm a good person, but I got bad grades. How can I get some support?
For me, it was the church. My dad wasn't around for a number of years. For me, it was the church. But then it was my coaches too. And a lot of time the coaches end up being fathers in multiple situations. I will say this. There are a lot of mentorship programs out there. You need to do your best to find them. And with Google these days, any youth can find a mentorship program. That's why I talk about being a voice. If you have a need, make that need known.
Right.
And so
that's good.
And so
that's good, man.
I've never seen a young man get on Instagram, TikTok, or anything and say, I need a mentor, and people not run to his ass.
Wow.
Now I've had some of these kids sometimes come up and they be like, I need some money.
Yeah.
No, you need a mentor so that when you get some money, you know what to do with it.
Bro, you gotta listen. That may need to be your slogan, bro. No, I'm saying think about it. Like you said, most of these kids are suffering, but they ain't told nobody. You don't even know this kid homeless. You don't even know this kid messed up in the head. Yeah. But if I put hashtag I need a mentor DTL, I need a mentor Detroit. I need a mentor D. Then that means somebody from Detroit gonna say, okay, he needs a mentor. I gotta help this kid. Man, I'm telling you, because think about it, like these kids, they don't they don't tell us what's going on. Like, I've been in the school system. I worked special ed for 5 years. So I know that half those kids, it ain't even they need an IEP. They need a father. They need somebody that believe in them.
Yeah.
That's the main issue. So that's funny. Yeah. No, man, that may be something you need to think about. Like, I need a mentor, bro, because I'm blessed from a single parent home that I had a mentor that helped me. And if I didn't have those mentors, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
My mom was in Detroit Public Schools. She was secretary of board, so she was aware of different programs going on around the city. I probably went to 2 to 3 rites of passage type of courses and things like that at different churches and with different organizations, probably a fraternity or 2 or something like that. But what I will say is this: it's someone on that block that will teach that young man how to cut grass, how to work on a car, how to do some plumbing, how to do some electricity. And that's a trade skill. That's something you can make money on later on. Go find that dude in your neighborhood that everybody got to go to when it's a problem and say, let me help, let me work with you. And I guarantee you, not only will you have a few by the end of the day, but you would have learned something that's going to benefit you in your behaviors and your disciplines in life. I'll put it like this: we as a community, we as a society, don't speak up enough for what we need in general.
I need a mentor,
bro. We all need a mentor.
Hey, bro.
We all need.
We all do. Hey, man. Hey, listen. I'm gonna end on that right there, man. Hey, listen. We gotta understand what I learned from this short interview is this is a man of integrity. This man is from Detroit. This man wants to work in his own community, and he's already working in the community. And his message is, you speak up. Speak up. If you need help, speak up. Tell people you're not voiceless. You have a voice if you organize and work together. Hey guys, man, I'm Derek Tatum, man. I'm with John Barlow, man. This is the Tatum Talk Show, where good is the enemy of great. I'm out.